Teardrop by Lauren Kate. Prehistory. So this was it. Dusky ember sunset. Humidity tugging on lazy sky. Lone car hauling up the 7-mile bridge toward the airport in Miami, toward a flight that wouldn't be caught. Rogue wave rising in the water east of the Keys, churning into a monster that would baffle oceanographers on the evening news. Traffic stopped at the mouth of the bridge by construction-suited men staging a temporary roadblock. And him, the boy in the stolen fishing boat 100 yards west of the bridge. His anchor was down. His gaze hung on the last car allowed to cross. He had been there for an hour, would wait only moments more to watch. No, to oversee the coming tragedy. To make sure that this time everything went right. The men posing as construction workers called themselves the seed bearers. The boy in the boat was a seed bearer, too, the youngest in the family line. The car on the bridge was a champagne-colored 1988 Chrysler K-car with 200,000 on the odometer and a duct-taped rearview mirror. The driver was an archaeologist, a redhead, a mother. The passenger was her daughter, a 17-year-old from New Iberia, Louisiana, and the focus of the seed bearers' plans. Girl and mother would be dead in minutes, if the boy didn't mess anything up. His name was Ander. He was sweating. He was in love with the girl in the car. So here, now, in the soft heat of a late Florida spring, with blue herons chasing white egrets through a black opal sky, and the stillness of the water all around him, Ander had a choice. Fulfill his obligations to his family or... No, the choice was simpler than that. Save the world or save the girl. The car passed the first-mile marker out of 7 on the long bridge to the city of Marathon and the central Florida Keys. The seed bearer's wave was aimed at mile 4, just past the midpoint of the bridge. Anything from a slight dip in temperature to the velocity of the wind to the texture of the seafloor could alter the wave's dynamic. The sea bearers had to be ready to adapt. They could do this, craft a wave out of the ocean using antediluvian breath, then drop the beast on a precise location, like a needle on a turntable, letting hellish music loose. They could even get away with it. No one could prosecute a crime he didn't know had been committed. Wave crafting was an element of the seed bearer's cultivated power, the zephyr. It wasn't dominance over water, rather an ability to manipulate the wind, whose currents were a mighty force upon the ocean. Ander had been raised to revere the zephyr as divinity, though its origins were murky. It had been born in a time and place about which the elder seed-bearers no longer spoke. For months they had spoken only of the certainty that the right wind under the right water would be powerful enough to kill the right girl. The speed limit was 35. The Chrysler was going 60. Ander wiped sweat from his brow. Pale blue light shone within the car. Standing in his boat, Ander couldn't see their faces. He could see just 2 crowns of hair, dark orbs against the headrests. He imagined the girl on her phone, texting a friend about her vacation with her mother, making plans to see the neighbor with the splash of freckles across her cheeks, or that boy she spent time with, the one Ander could not stand. The whole week he'd watched her reading on the beach from the same faded paperback, The Old Man and the Sea. He'd watched her turn the pages with the slow aggression of the terrifically bored. She was going to be a senior that fall. He knew she'd signed up for 3 honors classes. He'd once stood an aisle over at a grocery store and listened through the cereal as she talked about it with her father. He knew how much she dreaded calculus. Ander didn't go to school. He studied the girl. The seed bearers made him do it, stalk her. By now he was an expert. She loved pecans and clear nights when she could see the stars. She had horrible posture at the dinner table, but when she ran, she seemed to fly. She plucked her eyebrows with bejeweled tweezers, dressed up in her mother's old Cleopatra costume every year for Halloween. She doused all her food with Tabasco, ran a mile in under 6 minutes, played her grandfather's Gibson guitar with no skill but plenty of soul. She painted polka dots on her fingernails and her bedroom walls. She dreamed of leaving the bayou for a big city like Dallas or Memphis, playing songs at open mics and darkened clubs. She loved her mother with a fierce, unbreakable passion that Andrew envied and struggled to understand. She wore tank tops in winter, sweatshirts to the beach, feared heights yet adored roller coasters, and planned on never getting married. She didn't cry. When she loved, she closed her eyes. He knew everything about her. He would ace any exam on her complexities. He had been watching her since the leap day she was born. All of the seed-bearers had. He had been watching her since before he or she could speak. They had never spoken. She was his life. He had to kill her.